Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Xelpmoc Design and Tech Limited Q4 and FY'25 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant line will be in listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Ravi Udeshi. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sejal. Good evening to all of you, and welcome you to the Q4 and FY'25 earnings conference call of Xelpmoc Design and Tech Limited. We have sent you the press release and the investor presentation, and the same also has been uploaded on the Xelpmoc website as well as on the stock exchange. In case anyone does not have a copy of the same, please do write to us. To discuss the results and the outlook for the future going forward, we have with us today the top management of Xelpmoc, represented by Mr. Sandeepan Chattopadhyay, Managing Director and CEO, Mr. Srinivas Kura, Full-time Director and CFO, and Mr. Jason Jose, Full-time Director. Before we start the call, I would just like to remind you that the safe harbor clause applies. With that said, I now hand over the call to Mr. Srinivas Kura. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ravi. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Xelpmoc's earnings call for Q4 and FY'25. I hope you and your family are doing well. We are still seeing challenges in the startup to volatility in funding within the emerging technology sector. As mentioned in our previous call, we are maintaining our focus on corporate segment. Our consolidated operating revenue for the quarter was recorded 7.1 million for Q4 FY'25 as compared to 9.1 million in Q4 FY'24 and 8.3 million in Q3 FY'25. The revenue decrease on the year-on-year basis on account of the transition from a startup segment to corporate segment. We are seeing interest from corporates for our services. However, the conversion is expected to take some time. Hence, we expect our revenues to gradually start getting traction over the next few quarters. Operating EBITDA adjusted for the quarter was negative 15.3 million as compared to negative 49.2 million in Q4 FY'24 and negative INR 19.8 million for Q3 FY'25. I would like to give some context to this EBITDA loss in Q4 FY'25. Though our operating expenses have reduced, however, the decrease in revenue was due to the said losses. We expected our operating costs to be stable from here on. Net loss for the quarter was INR 18.4 million, partially due to 0.1 million of ESOP expenditure. This, in comparison to a net loss of about 60.4 million in Q4 FY'24 and net loss of 20.9 million in Q3 FY'25. Regarding the change in revenue, we would like to state that our revenue was diversified within startups, corporates, and government, forming 15%, 24%, and 1% respectively for FY'25 revenues. We expect focus on corporate segment going forward. More focus on data science will enable us to increase our revenue. Our team size is about 50, including employees, interns, consultants, as compared to 49 in Q3 FY'25. Till date, we have served 64 clients, and our sustained interaction is the foundation for our performance. On a standalone basis, revenue for Q4 FY'25 was INR 9.1 million compared to INR 8.3 million in Q3 FY'25, an increase of 9.1% due to increase in services delivered to corporate in Q4 FY'25. The operating EBITDA for the quarter narrowed from negative 17.2 million in Q3 FY'25 to negative 14.5 million in Q4 FY'25 due to revenue increase coupled with a decrease in certain overheads. Net loss for the quarter was INR 15.9 million. The company has restricted the consolidation of its subsidiaries, Xelpmoc Design and Tech UK Limited, and its step-down subsidiary, Soltrack Studios Private Limited, in accordance with the applicable accounting standards. As a result, the income as well as expenses recognized from these entities in earlier quarters have been reversed in Q4 FY'25, leading to differences between the standalone and consolidated financials for the quarter. I will now speak about the full year financials. Consolidated revenue from the operation was INR 39 million in FY'25 compared to 64.7 million in FY'24. Operating EBITDA for the year was negative 73.2 million as compared to negative 149.1 million in FY'24. Net loss for the year was 80.7 million compared to 138.9 million in FY'24. Standalone revenue from operation was 39 million in FY'25. Operating EBITDA was negative 63.1 million and a net loss was 86.2 million. The difference between standalone and consolidated financials are due to certain intercompany transactions between the group during FY'25. The fair value of our investment in portfolio companies stood approximately 631.8 million as of 31st March 2025 as compared to 546.3 million as of 31st March 2024. We achieved a milestone recently in our journey as a listed company as the board approved the proposal for a part sale of our stake in Mihoop, aggregating to total consideration of 100 million. This transaction reaffirms our strategy of partnering with startup and exiting post our 7 years target period. Now I will discuss about our portfolio companies in detail. First, let me start with Mihoop. Mihoop, our cutting-edge conversation AI platform designed to provide real-time assistance and analytics on customer-agent interactions. Mihoop features a phenomenon-based voice-to-text engine that delivers industry-leading accuracy along with pre-built AI models tailored to multiple industries. Its hybrid architecture, combining edge and cloud technology, ensuring secure and real-time data processing, enabling total workflow automation and mixed language understanding. It recorded a revenue of approximately 18 million in FY'25 and currently has an ARR of 25 million. It counts Tata Motors, Canara Bank, HSBC, Angel Bracon among their top clients. It has a dedicated team size of about 65 employees. Coming to our next startup, Woovly. Woovly operates across two dynamic business verticals. First, it has video commerce marketplace dedicated to lifestyle products, and second, it has a SaaS offering, Live to AI, which provides interactive, shoppable videos and live commerce solutions. Live2.ai has two core products, the shoppable social wall and a social media publishing and reporting. Currently, Live2.ai is achieving an impressive 2.4 million in terms of USD as its current ARR, with 280 brands utilizing the platform and operating at an EBITDA of a positive status. It has notable enterprise clients, which are industry leaders such as Henkel, L'Oreal, Samsonite, Titan Group, Decathlon, etc., with many more global brands in the pipeline. Now coming to our next portfolio, which is Snaphunt. Snaphunt is a remote talent marketplace that matches employers with best talent across geographies. Snaphunt is an innovative recruitment solution company. They recently launched AgentZen.ai as a comprehensive digital recruiter product alongside with their fully managed recruiting services for SMBs and startups. SnapHire, which did in 2022. In 2024, they saw a remarkable 1.5x growth in paid customers, driven by the removal of a premium plan and a new pricing strategy that enhances product-led conversations. Revenue for January to December 2024, it reached USD 425,000, with a projection of for 2025 set an impressive 1 million USD. Currently, they have 7.2 million job seekers and 10,000 employees on their platform, positioning them as a leader in the recruitment space. Coming to our other portfolio, Pencil. Pencil, a Mumbai-based startup that has been at the forefront of the creator economy since it established in 2007. Pencil is dedicated to empowering writers by providing innovative tools that enables them to create, enhance, monetize their stories. Recently, they launched AI-generated audio supported by a grant from Google India, which is now live. Additionally, Pencil has produced samples of AI-generated books in multiple languages, including English, Marathi, Hindi, and many more. With impressive intellectual property monetization, they sold 38,713 units in Q4 FY'25 and reported a revenue of INR 81 lakhs during the said period, reflecting a 25% growth over previous quarter. Our next startup, Star in Me, an innovative learning as a service platform dedicated to driving organizational excellence for individuals of all genders. Recently, TSIM has secured new clients, including Aragon, and achieved impressive gross revenue of INR 2.35 crores for FY'25. The company has also enhanced its platform by introducing new features designed to elevate the coach-partner experience and improve the clientele discovery process. Notably, TSIM was honored with a Gold Award in the Startup of the Year category at the ET Human Capital Annual Awards 2025, reflecting its commitment to excellence in the industry. Kidsdrop Press, a unique discovery platform designed to support parents throughout their parenting journey from conception to age 16. With the help of Xelpmoc, ASP has developed a machine learning platform that analyzes over 100 data points from its users. The primary target audience consists of first-time parents aged 25 to 34, who make up 75% of the platform's traffic, with 45% accessing its iOS. KSP has successfully monetized its content through brand partnership and subscription revenue and has been improved monetization thanks to long-term brand collaboration that extended its reach into Tier 2 cities across the nation. Coming to our new startup, Biome. Biome is a venture studio in the business of investing and mentoring its startup. It recently raised 20 crores from various sources. Its startup investment include Zoop.money, a white label loan platform for home buyers in partnership with real estate developers and financial institutions. As you all know, Xelpmoc typically engages with startup at the incorporation stage, pre-seed funding stage, or a pre-revenue stage. Most of our startups have just begun generating revenue and are still in a cash burning phase. However, few of our startups such as Miho, Googly, and Pencil are performing well, while others are still working to secure their next round of funding. Consequently, they are concentrating on increasing revenue and maintaining a conservative cost structure. As stated earlier, this year, the startup ecosystem experiences significant challenges, and we are focusing on scaling up Xelp's own products and services, including ElderTech. Our emphasis is on revenue generation within the corporate sectors, particularly in data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, as we aim to develop our own in-house products. We are committed to achieving EBITDA profitability as soon as possible, although it may take several quarters for this to materialize, given the current market conditions affecting both startups. With this, now I request to open the floor for question and answers.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handset while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, We will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Participants who wish to ask a question may press star and one now. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and one to ask a question. The first question is from the line of Mehul from 40 Cents. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. Sir, I joined in a little late, so I would like to know, and I'm new to the company. I would like to know the business model. Like, does Xelpmoc provide the initial capital for startups, or the ideas are incubated in Xelpmoc itself?
Sandeepan? So basically, as far as Xelpmoc is concerned, Xelpmoc, we don't invest as money into those companies unless and until we really see that some sort of a thing. But basically, what we do is we build technology for those startups, and at the same time, what we do is we help them in terms of product ideation, mentorship, and all the other corporate services.
Right. So, sir, since you mentioned that you help build technology, now what I understand from the earlier commentary is that Xelpmoc is having only a team of 50 people. Is that right?
No. Yeah, Xelpmoc has about 50 people.
So, my question is that because I was hearing the commentary, and there are about 7 startups or 7 ventures. So, are you saying that this team of 50 people is providing technology guidance to all these 7 companies?
No. See, basically what happens is every year we used to partner with 2 or 3 startups. And with each startup, the engagement is different. Maybe with few startups, we had engagement of 2 years, 3 years, etc. So what happens is, till the time your product is developed, you have done your beta, alpha, market test, etc., everything would be taken care by Xelpmoc. And again, there would be an agreed man-month rate and agreed number of hours. Accordingly, that would be translated into equity, or accordingly, that would be translated into the amount that the startup has to pay to Xelpmoc. In case if you look at Xelpmoc has a history of close to about 9 years. So every year we have onboarded few startups, and initial agreement was for about 2 years or 3 years. Once they raise fund, once they have grown up, they have their own tech team. And what happens is, in case if they face any challenges, at that time we jump in and we try to help them.
Right. So, sir, over the period of last 9 years, how many startups have we worked with?
So basically, we must have worked with close to about 16 to 17 startups, out of which few startups have not worked. As you know, that the success rate in startups is hardly about 10% to 12%. But still, our case, if you look at it, that few have already reached to about Series B level, few are at a Series A level, and most of the companies have already raised funds from either private equity players or family offices.
Right. So, sir, which are those companies out of this listed on the presentation? Which of these companies have got capital from private equity or the family office?
So basically, Mihoop has raised funds from private equities and also some marquee investors. And even Woolly has raised funds from private equity and some marquee investors. Pencil has raised funds. Snapant has raised funds.
Sir, when can we find the detail of the...
basically, in case if you can go through our deck, it has all like what they do, etc. And even if you look at our annual report, it carries like who are the investors in these companies. Now, for example, as I discussed earlier in my opening remarks, Biome has recently closed close to a raise of about 20 crores, again from friends and families.
Okay. So how do you spell Biome?
BIOME.
Okay. And sir,
BIOME.
yeah, sir, is it possible to have a detailed discussion, because this call is for other people as well. So is it possible to?
Yes, please. You reach out to our IR person Ravi. He will help you.
And sir, where is the management for the company based out of?
We are based out of Hyderabad and Bangalore.
Hyderabad and Bangalore. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. I'll come back to the queue.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rohan Choksi from RAS Capital. Please go ahead.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to ask the question.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. I would request you to please use your handset.
Hello.
Mr. Rohan?
Hello.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
We are able to hear you.
We
are able to hear you.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Sir, my question was with regards to the products that are built in-house. What's their useful life, and are they patented, and do you give annual maintenance service for them?
The products, whatever we are building right now at a very initial stage. Right now, none of the products, these are got patented. And mostly these are in the field of AI, ML, which can be used especially in the fintech industry, insurance, etc. Sandeepan, you can add more in detail with respect to these products.
Yeah. So essentially, these are you're highlighting all sorts of ML code and all, and making applications for mostly, as of now, 3 industries we're targeting: real estate, BFSI, and legal tech, where there's a lot of documentation and all. So these are document processing things which essentially tells if a document is of a particular type, if there are certain errors that can be corrected, whatever was being done as a menial job before, as proof correction or checking and all, that is being automated.
Right. Okay. So, and I have gone through your investor presentations and... Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Jason, you can also include what we are doing in EdTech.
Okay.
Yeah, surely.
So,
in the last. Yes.
Yes, sir. Please go on.
Yes. So in the last year, we've looked at an emerging theme and industry that's moving rapidly with the pace of graying in India. So as we call it, elder tech or age tech, as we call it, is a focus area for us. It's one of the only few additions that we've made in the last 9 years of our journey. And our first SaaS offering in this space has now been launched. We are currently talking to multiple senior living operators in the country, and it's an end-to-end suite for operators in the space who could be either real estate companies that have entered the senior living space or senior living operators that independently operate. So we're looking at how tech can help them improve efficiencies of operations, streamline service offerings, as well as give best experience to their residents. It is one of the first products from that company, from that entity, and we hope to have recurring revenues coming from that product in the next couple of quarters. So we just about launched it, and our next quarter one we hope to bag a couple of deals.
Understood. Thank you for the explanation, sir. And I have been through your investor presentations and the Concalls before, but I thought I would still ask. So I wanted to get a bit more understanding on who uses the products among the corporates, and you have mentioned on the industry, but if you can go a bit deeper on the use case of these products from the client's point of view? Like who will need these products, or tomorrow who will need Xelpmoc's help to scale, if it's a startup, corporate, or a government?
So in terms of corporates, it can be used for legal companies. And in case of BFSI, it can be used in insurance sector. Even in real estate sector, it can be used. So we have built a couple of robust models, which we are seeing that there are certain use cases in this particular industries especially.
Right. Understood, sir. And are you able to give a bit more information on who your top 10 companies would be, or which companies you are eyeing in the next 1 year or so as your potential clients?
So as I said, the sectors that we are looking at is legal and BFSI and real estate. So a large process of legal process outsourcing companies already, as our customer. We are trying to go to more such people who need that. Just to give an example of a use case, for example, let's say a contract is being framed and it has n number of clauses. So today what happens is a paralegal person goes through those clauses and tries to determine if there are risk factors or something has been missed or something is pertinent to the domicile the contract is being framed on. These sort of things are being automated. So what probably would have taken 2-3 days before from a paralegal perspective probably can be shrunk down to 4-5 minutes of inspection, after which the paralegal is sort of triggered to say, okay, this is the things missing, and it works in a kind of an aid to the paralegal to make his job much, much more succinct. That's the kind of use case. So anyone who's in a similar industry and has such of overheads for the people who are working, it's an applicable solution. In the same way, it's any forms that are being filled up, any paperwork that's being done where there's manual inspection, that can be automated to a large extent and aided for the person doing it. So that's the broad industry. Now, each industry has its own nuances and all. That's the reason we are sticking to this 3 verticals where we are putting specialized knowledge. But the core competency of the text parsing and all, that is more or less generic. You have to specifically train it for the particular field that you are trying to attract.
Right, understood. So I just have one last question, if that's okay. And you spoke about the profitability as soon as possible, and I understand the industry itself is facing its challenges, but correct me if I'm wrong, I think you've gone from having 100 employees to 50 now, so maybe from the cost-cutting point of view, you might be over it, but from the revenue or from the growth point of view, like what's the next step that you have to take to reach profitability or at least EBITDA positive?
See, just
there are 2 parts to it. Sorry, so you can go ahead, yeah.
Yeah. So as far as this part is concerned, maybe you are seeing that key number of employees were 100 or even at times 110, 120, etc. Please understand that earlier we have taken up a couple of projects which are more towards helping government, etc. But we have seen that those transactions are not helping us to grow, and at the same time we were burning cash. That's one of the key reasons why you have seen that there is a drop in revenues and also there is a drop in expenditure.
So does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Before we take the next question, I would like to remind participants that you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Abhishek Agrawal from James Quest. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for taking my question. My question is with respect to, sir, our business model, and we've been invested since past 5 years now, and then I've seen company do several things and close down a few, and then we had so much of potential. We were doing so much of things together, and so many industries that we could have catered to, and we're already in AI, ML, and all of these stuff, And with so much of opportunities in AI, so many companies doing and trying out things and, developing products. And so what is our vision? What are we trying to do? And, what is not working for us that, we're not being able to scale our products or, attract customers or, get clients towards using our products or solutions?
So we were in the same field of AI, ML and all, but our manifestation was mostly through the startup industry. That change of focus that we have done is what has been the main reason why we are right now starting almost at an ab initio level for entering into the commercial space and corporates to get the business. So yes, we were in the same field, but our focus was not towards making the products and doing services for corporates. That's a change we have taken, let's say, about 4 quarters back, and now those things are happening. Parallelly, we also started building our own products around that time. Because of the experience we had in the several startups and all we did, we could do it at a faster pace. Instead of the initial period that every company takes, let's say, 2-3 years, we have been able to go to market with some product offerings in 1 year. That is the transition that you are seeing, and that was previously notified that there is a painful switch that we have to do on that part. At the same time, we have not been encouraging startups because of our own, viability in terms of commercials and money factors. But if you look at our track record in terms of the success of the startups, that has been quite significant. If we had enough part and we had gone that way, that would have been a different pathway. But there was a funding winter, there is a startup shakeout that's happening, and we thought it prudent not to go that way, especially since we are a listed entity.
Sure. So, sir, just an extension to that then, if you can just, in a little bit of detail, explain us what are we trying to do exactly as of now, and what is the potential that we see with respect to revenues or profitability, a 1 year, 2 year down the line, any roadmap that we have or, anything that we're targeting in terms of revenues or profit?
Yeah, just the previous question we did explain as to what we are doing from the product and all. If you have queries, we can revisit that part which is there. But from an outlook of revenues and all, the numbers that are being talked of, that forward-looking part we really can't get into at this point of time till the stabilization happens and we have a fresh outlook on that part. As of now, what we have disclosed about the improvement. Yeah.
Sir, I get you. What I'm trying to understand is, say for a product or two that we're developing, what kind of customers can we get with respect to revenues? I mean, what kind of revenue potential can that product per client, per year have from services or products that we have to offer?
It is not fixed because the number of the agents that we are replacing and all will change from company to company. It's better to go with a sector and think of what that sector can offer. As of now, the potential market size for each of the sectors of legal tech and all is pretty high. If you think of it that if we are looking at market potential, it's about in many ways that you can think of it as the mid-tier employable people, about 6 to 7% of their cost is what can be the total market size for that. How much we are able to capture and all that will get clarity as we get the rollout started.
Okay, sure. Sure. And anything else that we're trying to do or develop or, get into in the future or anything that is on the drawing board for us?
Jason just mentioned just previously, the elder tech piece, the first SaaS offering for the elder tech care, that's something that we are taking to market right now.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A reminder to all the participants that you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next follow-up question is from the line of Mehul from 40 Cents. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much for the follow-up. Sir, I'm a bit confused about the company's operations. So while in my earlier questions, I got some insights about the ventures which you have, like Mihab, Boogli, Starimi, etc. And then in the following questions, I heard about that you are developing some products which are catering to real estate, legal tech, and BFSI. So the question is that these products which are you mentioned about to some extent, are these products driven by the Xelpmoc team itself, or these are also with some third party, are these startups which you are encouraging or supporting?
No, so what you heard was the previous portfolios that we have built, and our interaction with them in terms of day-to-day operations or development is not existing as of now. This is our history. What you're hearing is the work that we are doing, and this is not through any startups or ventures that we have gone. It is independent development that we are happening through the brand of Xelpmoc.
Okay, so these are independent ventures, real estate, legal tech, and BFS.
Correct. These are in our product lines. These are Xelpmoc product lines. Yes.
So when you say the others are history, so you are not doing any more work with startups. Is that correct understanding, or it's completely wrong?
Because they are matured, we hold equity in them and we have exposure to them. So whenever the wealth gain happens there, it adds to our holdings. But there are time to time when there is an innovation needed, we have contracts from them, but there is no regular revenue, income flow or cost incurred on behalf of those portfolio companies.
Oh, so there's not a single penny which you are spending on these startups now anymore?
Not anymore. See, we have done the investment before. We are now looking at reaping the benefits. And that strategy that we had previously, through which we have done this book building, that is not being pursued for the moment.
Right.
That's what.
Sir, thank you, sir. Another question about the startups is that in the slides which we have received as an investor presentation, there are names of the people who are mentioned as team, like Tapan Burman and Venkat J and Mahua Mukherjee. So all these guys are leading these startups. Are they
They are the entrepreneurs. They are the key guys. We hold equity in those companies run by them.
Okay. And sir, my next question is on one of the slides which talks about existing ventures and prospective engagements. So prospective engagements, I can see you have mentioned that is happening in the South African continent. So can you please elaborate on what kind of prospective engagements are we doing in that area of the geography? In that geography.
Srini, you want to take that?
That was done earlier, not the current one, because that was one of the services that we have rendered earlier.
So then there is nothing right now which we are doing in terms of South Africa.
No, nothing we are doing.
Not at the moment.
We are doing some work in US and some bits and pieces, but mainly in US we are doing some work. And one of the portfolio is there from US, which is a Catalyst, and one portfolio is there which is from Singapore, which is Snapant.
Snapant is in Singapore, and which is the one in US? Sorry, sir.
Catalyst is in US.
Catalyst.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And sir, anything in Europe?
No, we don't have
some services which we have done, but at the moment, nothing, no.
Nothing at the moment, okay. This MSME major in European market, can you elaborate a little bit on that, sir?
So basically, these are the services which we have rendered earlier, helping them in terms of R&D or building a product, etc.
Right. Sir, with the kind of, as you mentioned that there's a shake-up in the startup world, so what kind of hiring plans do you have for the next 2 years?
We have not done any hiring plans because as of now we are adequately manned. And once the products and all have kind of show the expansions and all, at that point we'll restuff.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much for answering all the questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next question is from the line of Raj from Arjav Partners. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you just mentioned on the call that you are doing a change of business model. So I wanted to understand what exactly is it? Is it like you are stopping to invest into startup companies and developing your own tech and going ahead? Is it so?
That's correct.
Yeah.
2-3 things we have done. Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, we are focusing more on developing in-house products and rendering services to corporates as services. But yes, as far as the startups are concerned, in case if there are any good lucrative startups reaching out to us, in case if there is any potential in it, we are happy to look at those startups. But yes,
Yeah.
earlier mainly was focused on startups. Now we are looking at startups, products and services, both.
All right. All right. So the products which you are developing on your own, how much investment have you made into them?
So basically, whatever burn that we are doing for last 1 year, maybe you can assume that the majority of it is going into those products. We are like talking to a few clients, yet to come out with some green shoots, etc., but sounds very positive. And maybe in next 1 or 2 quarters, you will see something on that side.
All right. Okay, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. The next
Thank you.
question is, thank you. The next follow-up question is from the line of Rohan Choksi from RAS Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the chance to ask again. So can I just understand...
Sorry to interrupt, sir. I would request you to please use your handset.
Yes, I am on the handset. Hopefully I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Please speak a little
It's
louder.
muffled a bit, but it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I'll speak louder. Sir, my question was with regard to the startups investment, the startups that you have in your portfolio. Would you have any exit strategy at this point, or you monitor on a year-by-year or quarter-by-quarter basis?
We do it on an opportunity basis, not quarter by quarter or year by year. But as you heard, our first exit from Mihook did happen, and we did a partial sell to the effect of over 10 crores.
Got it. Sir, and I just wanted to understand the revenue split between domestic and international as well. You know, between quarter 3 and quarter 4, there's a huge 20% change in the international. Is that what affected the revenue, and is the international market going to drive the revenue going forward, or am I reading it correct?
See, the thing is, many of these contracts or POCs we are doing, they do have an international appeal, though we are doing the POCs in India. So how it will go, we are not fully clear on where the uptake will be higher. But, I mean, for example, where the billing happens from makes it international, national, but the execution could be in India or vice versa, right? So that I think is there. The sectors are what is core in focus. For example, if there's a legal process outsourcing company, and the parent company is in UK, let's say, the revenue will be booked in UK, but actually the solution is being done for their center in India. So it's tough to say from the product perspective, unlike startups where it was very clearly demarcated and domiciles. This is more of an accounting part of it, but I don't think that should be a distinguishing factor.
Got it, understood. Sir, and now that the focus is going to be on the products that have in-house development, could you expand a bit on the USP of them, or what makes them different, or like the reasons why the clients would choose your products going forward?
Obviously, it's because it serves the problems that they're facing, and currently whatever tools and processes they have are not coming up to either the accuracy level of it or the speed of it, right? That's essentially what is driving. And that's the reason why a lot of the development has gone, and we have focused on sectors. We have gained knowledge specific to that sector, and as with any AI/ML or data science oriented project, the key is, apart from the technology execution, which is more or less standardized now, and there is a minimum standard that you have to comply with, the core part of it is how well you're able to train the data and how well you're able to handle exceptions. And the amount of effort and skill you put into it is what differentiates you and makes you marketable. So what is our calling card on this spot is the accuracy and the effectiveness in being able to assist with the focus. So there is a generic English language parser, and there is a slightly different training that you need to give to make the specific English which is used in legal documents. And that changes slightly again when you go to other sectors. So that tweaking and making sure that those things are done properly and it's giving the accuracy is what the skill and the USP of what we are doing lies in.
Understood, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Mukesh Patel, who is an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Recently, it has been noticed that Franklin Templeton Mutual Fund, which was holding 63,000 shares of our company since last 3 years, has sold its entire stake last month. Is it not a very disturbing sign for investors?
Sir, as far as shareholder holding stake, when they buy it, when they sold, it is nothing is within the company or within this thing. It is their individual decision and individual choice whenever they want to buy and whenever they want to sell it.
That is true, but it makes a real sense to know that a reputed name like Franklin Templeton exits our company. It shows it sends very disturbing signs to investors.
I think, sir, that is something that's a prerogative, like Srini said. But what has to be considered are two factors. One is it was not a significant holding that they had. It was not even in one decimal place, in single decimal places.
Correct.
The second aspect is they had held for 3 years, and they have certain policies in certain market sizes where they have to exit. That I don't see as a warning sign, given the time period they have been in. It was not like a hasty retreat immediately after investing, which would have been worrying. And it is something that was not moving the needle too much for us, because it was more of a check that they had put in my opinion, given the size of their fund and the amount they had invested. So I don't think I'll read too much into it.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. A reminder to all the participants that you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next follow-up question is from the line of Mehul from 40 Cents. Please go ahead.
Sir, thank you so much for the follow-up opportunity. Sir, how much percentage of equity are we holding in MeHub?
MeHub now, after exiting close to 2.5%, still will be having about 6.4 to 6.5% in the company.
Okay, and sir, rest of the equity is held by?
So there are other investors, right?
The entrepreneurs hold some part. There are investors who have been there from before, like Axel, Idea Springs, who are there, and there have been new investors who have come, who actually have them. For example, our sale was partially to of the existing investors who wanted to not liquidate more onto that part. So our thing was bought by two existing investors. So the investor pool has more or less remained constant, with addition of few people last the funding round, and then some secondary tranches that happened, which we took participate in.
Sir, and which is the private equity firm which is holding MeHub?
I think that's something that you can look up at MeHub, but I'm not sure if legally it is allowed.
Yeah,
I did mention that.
Axel Partners.
Axel Partners and Idea Springs, both are.
Axel Partners and
Axel, ACCEL.
Okay.
Idea Springs, yeah.
Right. And sir, how much percentage you have sold so far for MeHub?
He just told 2.5%.
Sir, what price point did you sell it for?
We have exited at a valuation of about 402 crores.
402 crores for the entire
enterprise valuation.
The enterprise valuation. Yeah.
Right. Sir, one last question, sir. Since now we have moved to more of an in-house technology company, who is our CTO?
I am holding that post de facto because I was a technical person anyway.
And sir, yourself, Mr. Sandeepan, right?
That's correct.
Yes. And we also have other team members like Naushad, Wali, etc., and who have been working with Sandipan for last 10-15 years.
Right, sir. Sir, very helpful. Thank you so much, and I will get in touch with your IR for a further discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. A reminder to all the participants that you may press star and 1 to ask a question. As there are no further questions from the participants, I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us for today's call. Please do write to us in case if you have any further follow-up queries. In case if anybody wants to have one-to-one call, please reach out to Ravi Udasi, who will set up a call and we can discuss further in detail. Thank you very much and take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of Xelpmoc Design and Tech Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your line.